Well, this is Jared with Stampede Blue, and this is your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap. The Colts lost today on the road to the Tennessee Titans. Final score 19 to 10. Colts are now 3-3-1 in the season, and of course the Tennessee Titans are presumably going to win the AFC South. But you know, Godspeed to them. They've got 7 games ahead of them that they're not gonna necessarily enjoy all those outcomes. If you like the content I produce, please like this video, subscribe to my channel to help other people find me and help me grow. But the Colts lost today because you can't turn the ball over on the road. It's hard enough to win on the road in any sport, and it's even harder to do so when your opponent only turns the ball over once. Like Ryan Tannehill had one fumble that he lost, right? And then Matt Ryan had a interception that was his fault, absolutely. And then another one was kind of on the offensive line. But that's kind of been the Colt story of the Colts season, right? Weak Colts offensive line causes mistake by quarterback who basically had to try to like dig the team out of a hole, right? And I feel like the Colts all year long have had slow starts, allowed points, tightened up defensively, and then I mean, if you really think about this, after the first time, I mean, there was no offensive touchdown allowed by the Colts this game, um, or you know what I mean. So it's it doesn't feel good to lose games like this on the road, um, but and Matt Ryan was 33 of 44 for 243 yards with a touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 3 times, pressured all day. Ryan Tannehill, 13 for 20, 132 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, only sacked twice. Story of the game obviously is going to be Derrick Henry, 30 carries, 128 yards. Jonathan Taylor, 10 carries for 58 yards on the way back. Him and Nyheim Hines, 14 total carries, 60 total yards. So not a lot to speak of on the ground for the Colts today. 17 carries with 65 yards total. Leaned heavy on the pass game to move the ball. Paris Campbell had himself an afternoon, 10 catches, 70 total yards, and a touchdown. Michael Pittman Jr., 6 catches, 58 yards. Nyheim Hines had 5 catches for 41 yards. Alec Pierce, 3 for 37. Just kind of a quiet outing out of the Colts offense, and two costly turnovers that results in points. And the Colts lose by 2 scores on the road. So, story of the Colts season has just been it's been a rough ride. Matt Ryan's been under duress. Obviously, with a change of scenery and a new offensive system, there's going to be some bumps and bruises. It's probably really difficult to win football games when your true defensive difference maker, Shaquille Leonard, is not here. There are a lot of people questioning Shaquille Leonard being soft. To that, I'd say, let me break your nose. Then you go through surgery. Then you play in an NFL football game just 2 weeks later. So, not really interested in having that conversation. But really, if you think about it, Derrick Henry gashed the Colts when he had to. Austin Hooper made a miraculous catch, and Michael Pittman fumbled the football. And I think the fumble is sort of an indicator of where the season could be headed, where you're in a lot of these games because you got the talent to hang around, but turnovers, big mistakes, penalties, drive killers. Um, you can't have that. When you have that, you lose. When you don't have that, you probably win. Especially when your quarterback's completing 75% of his passes, right? But again, the tale of the Colts season has been their inability to protect Matt Ryan, and then obviously you're just getting your starting running backs back. You're kind of trying to figure it all out. So it's like starting your season over. You know, teams that win are consistently fronting the same like 10, 11 people, and the Colts just ain't doing that yet. And teams are going to take certain guys out on certain plays. So you're going to have to kind of focus fire. Today, Paris Campbell was left open, which would seem to be like your third option, right? Because Michael Pittman should be your leading target receiver. He had 9. Paris Campbell has 12 targets. That would tell me, if you look at his target history, that Paris Campbell got more targets today because of the coverage that they were playing on Michael Pittman Jr., trying to take him out on certain plays, on certain key downs, forcing Matt Ryan to go elsewhere with the football. And that's all about coaching. And again, one of the things you don't hear me frequently talk about when I talk about like the Colts is how they managed to quiet the opponent number one running back, quarterback had a quiet day, and no receivers really went off, right? Here, even in this game against the Titans, the Colts allowed 128 yards out of a single back, who is their primary offensive threat. And there are instances where Ryan Tannehill, who clutches his knee, comes back if he misses one play, comes back and you don't blitz him. Right, and I'm thinking like I want him on his butt. I want him trying to be mobile, right? And the Colts don't do stuff like that, and that makes me think like the Colts have to win multiple playoff games this year, or somebody's getting fired. It has to happen, right? I mean, if you really think about it, like I get it, the whole quarterback situation, right? With Andrew Luck retiring and then failing to kind of find a long-term replacement. And I'm not even saying anything's wrong with Matt Ryan or that he's not going to be the dude until he decides to hang it up too, right? It's just that when you make a lot of mistakes, I feel like somebody else deserves a shot, right? And that's kind of where I left this game today. It's like why is Matt Ryan still in there? He's running for his life. He's got 2 picks. You're losing. Probably not coming back. Why not give somebody else a shot? Especially when he gets creamed, right? And I get it. It's pride, it's ego, it's wanting to stick it out there and fulfill your end of the bargain. And I just don't think anyone is owed that, right? I think you play until you're not effective. And then we put somebody else in there and try to see if they can be effective while you get your together. This has been Jared with Stampede Blues. This has been your Indianapolis Colts post-game rack. Please subscribe to my channel and like my videos so that if other people want to find my content, they can. And enjoy the rest of the games this week. The Colts now play at home against the Commanders, who will be without Carson Wentz because he's now got a fractured finger on his ring finger on his stone hand. So enjoy the rest of the games, and we'll see you after next week's games.